Scary Recaps presents The Invisible Man from 2020. Beware of spoilers. Cecilia Cass is trapped in a violent and abusive relationship with Adrian Griffin. In order to get away and save herself from his extreme and manipulative behavior, she intentionally drugs him with diazepam and sets off to leave. After she turns off the alarms, she takes her personal things and exits the house, all the while looking at him through her mobile phone, which is connected to a camera in the room he's in. Upon leaving the house, Adrian's dog, Zeus, follows her outside. Feeling sorry for the animal, she stalls for a moment to take off his shock collar, but accidentally falls on a car, immediately setting off the alarm. Panicked, Cecilia runs away, fearing that the sound might have awakened Adrian. Further down the street, outside his house, she finds her sister, Emily, who takes her inside her car. Before they leave, Adrian runs up to them and tells Cecilia to open the door. She refuses, and that makes him violent enough to smash one of the car's windows. Emily then drives away, and Cecilia is saved. Shortly afterwards, Adrian finds the bottle of diazepam that Cecilia used on him, and that makes him furious. A couple of weeks later, Cecilia is at the house of her childhood friend, Detective James Lanier, and his teenage daughter, Sydney. Cecilia is too frightened to go outside, although James tries to convince her that there's nothing to fear. Cecilia is scared to even cross the street. A jogger startles her as she reluctantly walks up to the front yard. When Emily comes to visit, Cecilia gets paranoid that Adrian might have followed her sister. But Emily reveals to her a news article where it is stated that her ex-boyfriend has committed suicide. Cecilia is distressed by this news and explains how it may have happened. She tells James and Emily about how Adrian wanted a baby, but Cecilia was afraid that that would put her deeper into his insanity, so she was taking birth control pills without his knowledge. Later on, Cecilia and Emily meet with lawyer Tom Griffin, Adrian's brother, who tells them of Adrian's will. In it, the deceased leaves $5 million to Cecilia with the condition that she is not mentally incompetent and doesn't commit any criminal acts. Having no issue with this, Cecilia can finally smile. She rewards her sister and Tom with gifts and starts to live her life again. That night, however, an eerie sensation causes her to feel alarmed. She is under the strong impression that someone is in the room with her. She is home alone, yet has this weird feeling, and as she walks out of the house, a cold breath is seen behind her back. A series of mysterious and inexplicable events starts then to take place at James's house. During breakfast, a knife falls down on the floor and the stove is burned. Then, in the middle of the night, as Cecilia is sleeping with Sydney, an unseen force pulls the bed covers out from them and takes pictures of them both. Cecilia stirs and tries to pull them up, but then witnesses what appears to be a set of human footprints stepping on the covers. Cecilia is pushed back and screams. James enters the room and Cecilia tells him that there is someone in the room, but he and his daughter say there's no one there. Afterwards, Cecilia is interviewed for a job at an architectural firm, but when she realizes that her work portfolio has been mysteriously removed from her bag, she is terrified and passes out. The doctor who treats her discovers large amounts of diazepam in her blood. In the bathroom, she finds the same bottle of diazepam which she used to drug Adrian and panics. Cecilia and James visit Tom, showing him the bottle with Adrian's blood on it, and Cecilia insists that he has faked his death, and by his expertise in the field of optics, claims that he has found a way to become invisible. She is scared and tells them that he haunts her and wants to do her harm, only to be dismissed by strong evidence of Adrian's death. Cecilia then is confronted by her sister, Emily, who scolds her for an email purportedly sent by her, in which she, or someone else, wishes that Emily was dead instead of Adrian. Sydney confronts Cecilia when an unseen force smacks her in the face. Thinking that Cecilia has done it, James and Sydney leave the house. Frantic by what has happened, Cecilia attempts to make Adrian reveal himself. She calls his mobile phone number and hears the ringing coming from the attic. She climbs the ladder and finds the device where the word "surprise" is written on the screen. But she's not alone in the attic. The Invisible Man is there with her. Cecilia realizes this in time and throws paint on him to make him appear. She runs down to the kitchen and looks at two hands cleaning off the paint in the sink. Cecilia grabs a knife and a fight ensues with the unseen presence. Before things get too ugly, she manages to leave the house. Deciding to confront him, Cecilia goes to Adrian's house and descends to the basement, where she discovers an elaborate suit that can become invisible. Her worst fears are realized then, and as the Invisible Man attacks her, she flees again. When Cecilia meets up with Emily at a restaurant, the Invisible Man strikes one more time. He grabs a knife and slits Emily's throat, killing her, and placing the knife immediately after the act in Cecilia's hand. Police arrive at the scene of the murder and arrest Cecilia. She screams that Adrian has killed her sister, making herself look like a deranged person, and for that reason she is sent to a psych ward. She is sedated, strapped on a bed, but not before she hears a familiar voice whispering in her ear, "Surprise." During the interrogation, it is revealed that Cecilia is pregnant with Adrian's baby. Tom arrives to offer a deal in order to get her out of this mess. He knows that Adrian is alive, so he tells her to either split the inheritance with him or go back to Adrian with the baby. Cecilia is thrown into a fit and manages to steal a pen from Tom's stuff. A few days later, Cecilia walks to the shower and shouts that she will never give away her baby. She starts to hurt herself with the pen when the Invisible Man grabs her hand, giving her the opportunity to stab him and cause his suit to malfunction. As the guards hear the commotion and approach, the Invisible Man kills them all. Cecilia runs away and escapes, but not before she listens to the Invisible Man's threats, who intends to hurt Sydney. Cecilia drives to James's house, where the Invisible Man attacks Sydney. James gets in the way and gets injured. Cecilia arrives in time and uses a fire extinguisher to reveal him and then shoots him 4 times, ultimately killing him. Taking off his mask, it is revealed that Tom was the Invisible Man all along, while Adrian was being held hostage by his own brother. Cecilia, however, isn't convinced by this turn of events. Tom wasn't the only criminal, but Adrian's accomplice, so she decides to act. She goes to Adrian's house for dinner. James waits outside, hearing their conversation, waiting for Adrian to admit his crime. Cecilia tells Adrian that he can't have the baby, but Adrian doesn't flinch. She then leaves the table and goes to the bathroom. A few minutes later, a knife flies from Adrian's hand and his throat is slit. Cecilia returns and pretends to cry for the security camera. James runs into the house, but it's too late. Adrian is dead. He asks Cecilia why, having noticed the invisible suit in her bag, but she tells him that Adrian has committed suicide. James accepts this, and Cecilia, having finally been liberated, walks off with Adrian's dog, Zeus.